for the money to Rajneeshpuram. I didn't understand this at that time, but I took the jump, though I was really crying and really shocked about this closing down. But I had no idea about politics and everything at that time. But that was my first. But luckily, I fell in love with a Prashanto, who was sewing Osho's robes at that time. And she took me to England, where I met Sushila in the center there.
Medina.
No, Medina. In London, they had an office.
Okay.
Rajneesh Services. And they asked me if I wanted to become part of Rajneesh Services and to be assistant of Ma Latifa in fundraising. Okay. And I said, finally, I talked with Prashanto, and she said, wow, do this show. She was one of the old sannyasins and also very skilled in. So she was invited to go to Rajneeshpuram. So I said, okay. So I ended up in Cologne with Latifa assistant, and we were traveling all Europe. And at that time I was very good in connecting people. We were showing videos from Rajneeshpuram, so people could invest money and everything. Because this is important, because a lot of people I met later said, all these people lost their money. Most of the people lost their money, but a lot of people got their money back also, like in the Rolls-Royce Trust and everything. But when I finally understood how Osho is working, because any kind of attachment, be it to the family, be it to the country, be it to money, he was, through us, helping these people to let go. He was helping me, so I could easily share. But you remember Sushila?
Yes.
Mama.
Yes.
Wow. She was a bulldozer, man. But she was into abundance. She had this. And later on, Osho passed on the message to us. Start to think in big numbers, which was opening up my narrow mind, and also saw what is possible when you trust, when you worship. Because we were working basically the whole day, and one miracle after the other was happening. And then I said, wow. And already in Sangam, in this commune, I thought, oh, this is unbelievable. But with creating the funds for our city and being part of this was like, wow. And I got really into my own power, though I was sometimes misusing it. I noticed it, especially when we were traveling every week 3,000 kilometers. And we came into the center as representative of Rajneeshpuram, Rajneesh Services, Latifa, and And of course, like the women there, they were like, oh. And I was an innocent guy. I had no girlfriend, no nothing, no marriage anyway. But I enjoyed it very much. But then, when I spent the night with one of the, usually the center leader, and in the morning at breakfast table, she told me that she had a relationship with a man in the center. I'm telling this because later on, and I got really, oh my God, interfering in there, all this. And later on, I'm telling the story because Sheila frequently came to Cologne, and we were 400 people, sannyasins in the commune. In one of our meetings, Sheila was putting me on the hot seat, saying I was misusing my role in Rajneesh services by being with women. And I was like shrinking, oh, boo, so bad. But I wasn't in Pune 1, so where everybody was sort of, where Osho had this thing with the sex guru and everything. So I was in the beginnings of 30s,
So when did you arrive in Rajneeshpuram?
Well, every festival we came, and there, in the second festival, when was this festival when he announced this enlightened people? That was 1984, I think.
84, yes.
This was I spent some months there, but then I had to go back to raise the funds in Europe. So, but in 1984, when Osho announced this, I had to go to Jesus Grove, at that time Jesus Grove, and was asked to be at the drive-by in front of the ranch house. So we were lining about 15 people were lining up, sannyasins, at the ranch house, and Osho came with a car, and then he left the car and came one by one, and came to Pablo, and gave his blessings by touching me on the forehead. And this was my initiation, basically, my true initiation through him. And I got a robe of him.
You got a robe from him?
Yeah.
Where is that robe?
I'll tell you later. Anyway, this was like mind-blowing. This was my first physical contact with Osho. And when I read all your stories about being in his physical presence, I understood now what it means to be, or the energy darshans, right?